Hello everyone, Mark Latham here, and I'm joined by Jason Thickpenny.
Hey.
He's come down and stayed with us last night with his dear wife Ali, and we thought we'd just do a very quick posting this afternoon on this Easter weekend to just talk about anything really, anything in particular. But the fact is that we're free, and it's lovely to find other brothers and sisters around the country, and there are more of us gathering like we are now that have a lot to say. And as we start talking to each other, our experiences really do show that we've come out of something very dark and very serious. And this is a message to those that are caught up in this cult that we were in as Jehovah's Witnesses, that we can all establish a new life, and that there is life, as they say, after death, and you can actually start to create something better for yourselves. And talking to Jason these last few hours with Ali has just cemented that view even more, to know that we're not alone. There are many of us on YouTube, on the internet, and also now we're starting to meet each other physically, and once we meet each other, it's like we've always known each other, oh, there you are. It's like you might think that we're total strangers, but then as soon as you meet ex-JWs, you know you have something so deeply ingrained in common with each other that you're just bounding with love, and you think it's fantastic that you've managed to escape like we did. And for us, that in itself is so special. And then we add all the extra bits on, don't we, when we're talking? And I don't know how you see it, JC.
Yes. Well. First of all, Mark, I want to say thank you from both Ali and I for letting us come and drink all your wine and eat all your food, and shortly we'll be stealing all your children's Easter eggs as well. But no, it's been a fabulous weekend, and I think there's a few things really here, Mark, that I would really like to highlight to anybody that is watching this, and particularly, Mark, if anybody is watching you that knew you from their Jehovah's Witness past, I suppose. Mark and Cora are a wonderful couple, and have got two amazing children, and a very noisy dog, who is also lovely, I have to say.
He's being very quiet right now.
And I think the thing is that I, even as somebody who, after I was disfellowshipped, I feared this ex-Jehovah's Witness world. I feared these people that the Watchtower had painted as apostates, and I think I would just really encourage, if you're someone who has recently come out of this organisation, don't fear the ex-JW world. And I can tell you, I mean, Mark and I have known each other now for probably about a year or so. I would have thought, and we've met a couple of times, haven't we? And we've become really good friends as a result of it. This ex-Jehovah's Witness world is one that is amazing, and there are so many good people out there outside of the Watchtower, and that you can become friends with. I think as well, I would really encourage those who the YouTube community has been fantastic in connecting us with yourselves and with other people as well. I think at some stage, though, and this is just how I feel about things, I think that we will at some point we will be stopped in terms of putting up these YouTube videos.
I agree.
Because there will only be a certain amount of time that we've got where we can have freedom of speech.
Yeah.
So I would really encourage everybody really to start getting in contact with ex-Jehovah's Witnesses, start meeting them, start socialising with them, start making friends, and I think this is what I would really encourage people to do, because you guys know, it's a very, very lonely place, and one that can really eat away at you.
Yeah, I totally agree. When you first leave the organisation, and they automatically put the shutters down on you and go into the shunning, and basically completely cut you off, you can start to feel that, where have we now put ourselves? And so you have to have that strong conviction that you've done it for a reason, and you have to remind yourself. Now, one of the best ways of doing that is by sharing it with others that have done exactly the same thing. And there are so many now who are on the cusp of leaving, that we're in contact with. I'm sure you're exactly the same.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's okay on this side of the fence. You know, you can be happy in your own skin. But if you've got friends that understand where you've come from, that in itself is so essential to find that. And you've only got to reach out a little bit to find that there will be people there that will help you, assist you, and become your friends.
Absolutely, and won't judge you, you know. And I think that's a really important thing. And I know that some people do think, and I understand why, because I've looked back at some of my previous videos. I know sometimes I can come across as a little bit too, I don't know what the word is, but you know, obviously I have become Christian, as you have as well, since leaving this organisation. But please don't think that that because I am a Christian, that if you're not a Christian, that somehow I won't be friendly with you. That's not the case at all.
Absolutely.
When you come out of this religion, and you do become born again, you do become Christian, there is no barrier. I don't see any barrier at all between me and anyone.
I totally agree.
And that is such a blessing. So please don't think that just because you have a different viewpoint of myself or Mark that is a barrier. There are plenty of things that you and I disagree about, isn't there?
Absolutely.
And that's absolutely
we
okay.
were having a healthy discussion about certain topics last night.
That's
weren't
right.
We
Yeah.
were thinking, well, maybe I differ from you on this particular point. That's fine.
Yeah, that's right.
But that makes it healthy. It cultivates a good debate system. It cultivates something deep inside you to start thinking more.
That's right, yeah.
Because we've not been allowed to do that.
No, it's not like we're both just reading the Watchtower and just politely nod along with it, going, yeah.
But that answer's not in the paragraph. You know. So
that's
what we're doing now by exploring and saying, well, I found this out. Oh, I found this out. Well, I've got another angle on this. And it's only by doing that, nurturing a deep-seated understanding of what the world is really like out there, that we can start understanding ourselves a little bit more about where we fit into the world. And there's nothing wrong with that. And from many JWs coming out, I've always felt that when you talk to them, they feel that they're still not going to be able to just adjust and come back into the world, so to speak. They were always in the world. It's just their mind is thinking that they're not. And that's the essential bit, is for other people to do this and say hello. Everything's okay.
Yeah, that's right.
It's all right.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that this is the thing, Mark, in that I know there'll be lots of I know that there are lots of people, particularly that are subscribed to your channel, that are witnesses that are desperate to escape. And I think that by us meeting here today, I hope is a source of encouragement for those people that really want to escape but don't really know where they're supposed to go in terms of their social network. Because if you were anything like me when I was a witness, and I know it was perhaps a little bit different for yourself, but I had a massive social life when I was a witness, and I used to have loads of friends who were Jehovah's Witnesses. When you know that is going to be taken away from you, that really is hard.
It's a very hard price to pay.
Yeah, it is. But then what you see is that on the other side, actually the people that you then meet are actually even nicer, but what they also are is genuine,
honest.
That's right.
And willing to listen to you and not judge you.
Yeah, that's right.
And that's so refreshing.
Yeah, and it is there. This for me is proof that anybody out there. Mark and I and Cora, we hadn't met since meeting over YouTube. And now, like I say, we're all very close friends now.
Absolutely.
And we've had a real amazing weekend as a result of it. And I think that I hope this is some encouragement that if you're contemplating making that step to escape, that you can do that, and actually outside of it you can still have a better social network of friends, and most importantly, you don't have to feel burdened by the Watchtower. And do you remember? I always remember that song. Throw your burden on Jehovah. It gives me the creeps just singing that, actually. But
put a shiver through me.
Yeah, that's right. But you know what? I remember singing that as at a Kingdom Hall as a disfellowship person. And thinking to myself, you know what? The burden is my religion. The burden is my religion.
Absolutely.
And actually, that scripture is exactly right. So what I did is I threw my religion, and that was it. It was over there. And once that had gone, I was left with this without this barrier between me and God now, and that was an amazing experience.
You don't forget them, do you? You never forget these experiences.
No, that's right.
I was reading something the other day on the prodigal son. I was looking up on Wikipedia of all places,
right.
and I read the prodigal son and the story behind what Jesus was getting at there so many times. But I decided to go on something worldly, so called, and read it from a Wikipedia point of view, and it keeps it very, very straight as to what the story is about, and the messages that are supposed to be coming from it. And even at that level, you try and relate the prodigal son as disfellowship people within the Watchtower Bible and Tract Society, and they haven't got a clue. They haven't got a clue, even on something as simple as that particular very famous story of the prodigal son. They've got it so wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's only when you've been disfellowshipped that you can actually see why it's so wrong. And forgiveness is not something they know anything about.
Absolutely, yeah. And one day, and if you are disfellowshipped, and if you have this mentality that I think that at some stage all of us did have as disfellowshipped ones, that when you walk out your home and you walk down the street, you keep your head down, and when people are shunning you, you keep your head down. And now when you come out the tunnel through the other side, now you can walk out your home with your head held high, knowing that actually you've been forgiven by Christ, and you're no longer looking for them to forgive you, because the important one, which is God, has forgiven you, and you can walk out with your head held high, and don't feel that this disfellowshipping thing and this shunning thing has to be a barrier. If you see someone in the street who's a witness, go up and talk to them. If you feel that that's appropriate, go up and talk to them. Put the shoe on the other foot. Make them feel awkward about it.
That's right. Because it's something that's imposed on you.
Exactly.
By the society. It's not something you want to impose
Which you don't
on
belong
yourself.
to. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you're no longer in it. You're no longer part of it. And yet they still want to impose something on you. And that once again is another grip that they use on you that is just completely useless.
Yeah, that's right.
And it shows the level that they're willing to go to in order to frighten the brothers and sisters within the organisation to stay put. Because look what happens to those individuals as a result of them taking that step outside of the fence. And it's not loving. It just shows a fearful way of controlling people.
Absolutely. And I think that as well, just if I can just jump on the back of that point, I know that there is a Watchtower article, a study article coming out soon, which contains an experience of someone who had been disfellowshipped for many years, who eventually went back because he felt like he was, through this time he was being disciplined, and then he went back into the organisation. Now the Watchtower will quite happily share that story. What they won't do is share the stories of people that actually have walked out the doors of the Watchtower and never gone back, and have actually been really happy and content with life.
Absolutely.
So really, this is a message to all of those who could watch from the Watchtower headquarters. You might think that is the world out there, but actually there are many of us who are ex-Jehovah's Witnesses that are very happy and content with life. And yes, we've made big sacrifices along the way, but my, were they worth making.
And would you agree that because of the sacrifices that you've made, that you're stronger for it?
Absolutely.
You've come through that painful barrier of thinking I've had to make sacrifices, not that I want to, but I've had to because they're held within that organisation. But once you've made that step, taken the price, and started to rebuild your life, then we're talking to others now that are finding that they've become very strong people, and independent in their physical well-being as well as mentally and emotionally, and stronger for it all the way around, and are becoming very well-balanced people. And many of them have got old skeletons, ghosts, things that are going on inside them that they've still can't get rid of. But through help with other JWs, ex-JWs, you can say, well, why don't you see it from this angle? And we've all been there. I've asked for I've had questions that I've had to ask. I've asked you. I've asked Happy Free Thinker is another one I've been to, about things that I've said, well, how do you see it like this? Because it's really bugging me now, and I still can't release it from my head. And by talking to each other, it's simple.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it disappears.
Yeah.
And you suddenly think, I feel stronger for that now.
It definitely, and I think this whole thing, Mark, for me anyway, when when I realised that actually I lived in a place in the country where I was literally a couple of hours drive from all these ex-witnesses around the country, that was all part of the healing process. Going out and meeting them, it does. I mean, all of us carry our watchtower scars, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
And this, I mean, for me, obviously the biggest healer was having a relationship with Christ.
Yeah.
But this is also a really, really good healer, being able to just meet with other ex-witnesses, share experiences, and know that you have friends outside of this organisation.
That's it.
I
think you've hit it on the nail there. That once you realise you do have scars, and to accept them. And not to try and hide them.
That's right, yeah.
And say, well, yes, I do have a scar on this. I do feel very emotionally disturbed by this particular issue. Or whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. But if you can share that with someone that's has got a mutual history, someone that's got an understanding of where you're coming from, and those thinking blocks that you used to have to use, they can automatically trigger straight into you and assist you. And it works.
Absolutely.
It really does work.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
To the society out there, if you're ever going to watch this, we are not on our own. There's an army of us out there worldwide that are talking to each other, that we're active with each other, and it's growing and it's getting stronger. And there are a number of people that we, in our little micro area, know of that are just contemplating wanting to leave and are working out ways in which they can. It's happening everywhere, right across the world. And it's happening because the organisation that they belong to, that you belong to, is quite clearly not loving. It's self-destructing, and it's very tired, and it's delusional. And as a result of that, a lot of people are now coming onto the internet, and you're quite right. How long we've got it for, we don't know. So we've got to use it while we can.
Yeah,
but while we've got it, it's got to be exploited. Share our experiences. Because someone in America or in Africa, Brazil, Portugal, we're talking to people in Norway, it's like they're right next door to you when you're talking to them.
Yeah, definitely.
Powerful stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason, for coming.
No, thank you, Mark.
And Ali, of course, as well. He's hiding behind the camera, and we love her to bits. It's been a pleasure getting to know them.
And thanks for this fire. Right, my arm is really warm now.
That's
actually,
okay. Put some marshmallows on there.
It's really nice.
And thank you very much for my cup. Can I just point it out to the screen? It says, "We escaped the Watchtower." And this came from Ali and Jason as a prezi. And I don't want to use it very often because, and we've got another one. What's the other one, my darling? What does that one say again? Remind me. It says exactly the same. Yes, we escaped the Watchtower, and there's another picture of my wife and myself, lovey-dovey on the picture. I don't know how you did that. It was
it was in a hotel lobby. So lots of people in the holiday Inn have both been watching
YouTube videos in a hotel lobby. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. So,
who knows? It's a small world.
You never know. You never know. So, but no, thanks for a really good weekend, Mark.
No, it's been wonderful.
And you guys have been a blessing to myself and to Ali, and indeed to the YouTube community. So
thank you very much. We're looking forward to coming up in May.
Yes, it's going to be a good day.
Meeting a load more of us, and that will be a very exciting day.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Thank you very much,
and
mate.
you. Yeah.
Take care.